All right, team, I have a new one here with explosive thrust. Let's go ahead and go over GMZP. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with a GMZP technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, guys, so yes, we are looking at GMZP, Gems Corp here on the 3-day chart. Not exactly sure what's happening within the fundamentals itself, but the technicals and the statistics are actually showing us some very, very interesting signals here, and let's just go ahead and go over those now. Okay, first of all, we've been riding this descending channel since the start of, let's see, that would be June 2021, right? So now we're actually finally getting that final breakout on true test number 4, which is a part of the golden rule of 3, right? So very, very bullish thing here, because the descending channel usually presents a reversal of price action in a macro environment. Okay, I'm talking about the 3-day environment here. So every single candle takes approximately 3 days for it to close, right, from its opening. Now, the next thing to notice here is that the red moving average crossing the yellow moving average is the silver cross right here. Okay, so it's a very powerful signal. This is the 20-day exponential moving average crossing above the yellow 50-day exponential moving average, and historically this cross has been known to dictate whether price action is starting a bull trend or a bearish trend. Definitely notice here that we got the silver cross, that we got the cross below the 50-day exponential moving average from the red one, right? And we have been in this decline since that happened. Okay, so definitely know that we just got that first cross for the first time in just, for like 2 years, right? So very, very interesting thing here that we would get that cross to the upside. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart and see what we have in store here for us. Okay, so this is the 5-day volatility versus momentum backtest that I actually performed. Okay, so for the conditions, right? Let me go ahead and talk to you about that. The context behind this is anytime that volatility has contracted into the critical contraction zone, which is within the 15th percentile, and then started an expansion phase from that critical zone, paired with stochastic momentum pivoted towards the upside, I have taken note of every single time that has happened throughout the entire trading history of the asset, okay, on the 5-day chart. Okay, so these are all the samples right over here that I have gathered for the statistics, and this is the data set right over here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go over those details right now. Okay, you guys, so yes, on the 5-day critical contraction to expansion, we have a total count of 7 iterations, of which 7 were guessed correctly to the upside. That gives us an averaged upside accuracy of 100% with a massive upside thrust of 571.45% over the span of about 116 days. Don't remember, these are just statistics. Nothing is actually certainty right here, right? So let's just go ahead and apply the mean of 571.45%. Remember, this is proof of work here, okay? So let's apply the mean into the current price action. Okay, so in order for the signal to fire, for us to start that upside count, we do need a couple things. Okay, so first of all, we need both of the moving average and the volatility component itself from the BBWP indicator to be pivoted to the upside and past the 15th percentile line. Okay, so this is now above that, and we are still suggesting an upside. So since the firing of that signal, please notice here that the signal actually fired right down here at about 2.048, and we are now about 90.08% to the upside. Okay, so applying that 500% move to the upside, let's just go ahead and see what it would do for us. Okay, let me just apply that right down here so that it matches the other side, and it looks like, let me just correct this here, it looks like it's taking us to a target of about 0.3 3 cents, right? So 3.19. So let's just go ahead and take a look at what 3.19 even looks like here in the fibs. Okay, so in the fibs, you can already see that it's taking us right to the 1.272. So it is following some geometrics very nicely. We can even take a shorter time frame fib just so that we can see what we have in store for this. Okay, so let me just minimize our volatility versus momentum just a little bit, just so that I can get a little more space here for our fib retracement, right? So let's just go ahead and see if we can take a fib retracement from, let me go ahead and make this yeah, so you know what, we'll take it from the current price action to this range low here from the moment it started, right? So let's just go ahead and do that and see what we have in store for us. All right, so just like this, and let's go ahead and take it right down to that point right there. And that 319 looks like it's taking us right under the 4.236, okay, which is right under our 4.618 golden mean. So it is following some very nice geometrics here, you guys. I love the fact that we actually have that 3.618 just at about 3 cents, right? So it's very likely that we can touch this range now. This gives us a resistance range. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take a note like this, and we'll go ahead and jot it down just like that so that we have this locked in for us. Okay, so this is the resistance range that we're essentially looking for. Okay, so now let's go ahead and validate our upside thesis. Okay, so let's see what we have. So let's go ahead and take it. Okay, oh, yeah. You know what? Here's more validation for the upside. So let's just go ahead and take a look at this, okay? Referencing again, volatility versus momentum. Remember, volatility is direction neutral. We have to pair it with a momentum-based indicator in order for us to determine or gain that bias for the direction, right? So here, let's just go ahead and notice this. Let's start off with the hourly time frame. Critical contraction here with an upside. Now upside of the 15th percentile with an upside bias here on the hourly. Let's go ahead and notice the bi-hourly with an upside pivot. Critical volatility upside of the 15th percentile. 4-hour time frame upside pivot on that stochastic, and we're about to peak the moving average as well next to the momentum. Next to the volatility component upside of the 15th percentile too. Notice the 6-hour time frame about to start crossing that 15th percentile upside pivot in the stochastic momentum. 8-hour, same situation, upside right here. 12-hour is the only one that is starting to correct, right? So we're starting to get that upside pivot from both moving averages from critical contraction. Very good. Let's look at the daily. Daily in critical contraction as well, starting to make that upside pivot on both moving averages. Notice the bi-daily, we still have an upside pivot here, and now we're starting to contract here. Okay, so that shows us that there is still some upside to go. Now, if there is upside to go, let's just look historically speaking on the stochastics oscillator and see how far we can even go up, right? So it looks like we've actually maxed out at 100%, and we're currently sitting at about 83%. So massive upside still to go here on the bi-daily. Okay, so now that the bi-daily is telling us that we're starting to mean revert, let's go ahead and just pull up something. I actually didn't do this before, right? So let's pull up the mean reversion tool and see what we have. So we're way above the mean right here. Let's go ahead and pull up another algorithm to see how far away from the mean we are, right? So we're also above the mean here, you guys. So this thing is this thing is about to start another phase, but this is still suggesting upside. Both of the moving averages are pivoted towards the upside. 3-day time frame, go ahead and notice that it still has a little bit of an upside pivot here, a little weak, right? We're at critical expansion. 5-day all the way pitched to the upside, about to reach critical expansion. And notice the weekly as well, straight up moonshotting here, and we're actually, oh man, we're within 2 percentile of the critical range there. Bi-weekly straight up to the upside and still expanding. Okay, you guys. So what I'm trying to say here is that any time that you have a setup with the volatility versus momentum profile in several time frames, it is very likely for us to see a massive move to follow that. Okay, you guys. So there are several upside setups over here, all with different statistics. And the one that we took in the favor was actually the 5-day statistic. And this is, remember, still suggesting a massive upside continuation. And it looks like the 3-cent target would be that target to look out for. Okay, you guys. So now let's look at the last part of the analysis. And this is actually going to be the RSI. Okay, Immediate short-term time frame, 30-minute. Notice the upside pivot here, well within the bull strength percentile with an upside pivot. We're getting very close to that gravitational zone. The 4-hour with right in the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile, crossing the 14-day simple moving average, very likely going to continue onwards and upwards in the immediate short-term time frame. Notice the 8-hour as well, right in that gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile. Very, very impressive price action here. You guys notice that the daily looks like it's actually starting to cross the 14-day simple moving average. Let's just get real close to see what we're looking at. Okay, go ahead and notice that we're peaking right above it right now. Okay, so just like that, notice that. Okay, so it looks like the upside is still being suggested by every metric here. Notice the 3-day. Huge upside still on that pivot, right? Let's go ahead and notice historically how far we can even go up. Okay, we're currently sitting right now at about 79 spots, 71%. Okay, this thing, historically speaking, can go up to 96.05 on a 3-day RSI. This is massive upside, guys. So let's go ahead and now notice the 5-day iteration, which is the most important one in my opinion, guys. We are barely sitting right now at about 75.61%. And look at the upside probability for this going all the way up to 95.5%. Massive room for this thing to still run. Okay, you guys, remember. Okay, you guys, if you want to go ahead and get enrolled in the ArcMasters course, definitely check out the links in the description below. Give me an email. Reserve your seat now before it's too late. Okay, you guys, we're going to be starting this course and we're going to be looking at all the fundamentals of trading. I'm talking about the fundamentals of trading or charting, right? The way I am, the way I do this in a discretionary, systematic way, from the very fundamentals of trading all the way to the advanced topics and mathematical applications. Okay, you guys, remember first and foremost that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be just cool. Okay, please know and respect your risk management. Okay, you guys, no matter what is happening, this is, of course, it's very frothy right now. We are looking at a continuation to the upside, likely to happen almost in the immediate short-term time frame. Okay, you guys, so we can see right now that there could be a little bit of a loading zone on the 5-minute only. The 30-minute right now and the 15-minute are still suggesting upsides, and all the way across the board we're getting upsides. Okay, you guys, so the 5-minute may actually present a pullback to the 14-day simple moving average. So let's just go ahead and see what that can even look like in the price action, right? So yeah, that's a little tough, right? So let's just go ahead and open up this thing right over here and see what we got in store for it. Okay, so immediate short-term time frame pullback, what can that even look like, for the love of God? Okay, let's see. All right, so yeah, let's pull up the averages and see what we have in store for us. Okay, so yeah, very likely, actually, you know what, I'm gonna get a little more surgical and pull up the EMA 7 and the 9 period as well from the exponentials. Okay, so let's just go ahead and pull those right up and we'll see what we have in store. Okay, we're gonna brighten them up just a little bit more and change the color just on this a little bit. I still have to set the colors right for the algo, but no problem. So yeah, very likely we can actually come back down to I would actually favor the EMA 7, right at about 2 zeros and 8.7. So 2 zeros and 9 is still a little high, but 2 zeros and 8.7 could be that zone, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and drop, notice just how much confluence there is there, right? So let me just go ahead and load up a box here so that we can gain our potentials, right? So just like this. Oh my goodness, if we can get that box to actually click, it would be incredibly amazing. There we go. All right, so just like this could be that loading zone before an upside continuation, guys. I'm going to leave this highlighted so you can look at that right there. Okay, you guys, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, okay? But with that said, I actually will leave you here. I think this is a good place to leave off the video, right? So yeah, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, guys.